Good morning. Let me see. Everything's plugged in. Good. Good morning and welcome. Oh, there's people here already. Yes, happy Father's Day. Hi, Susan. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Judy. Hi, Michael. Hi, Mary. I'm sorry if I missed anybody, but happy Father's Day. And for those that aren't catching this live, which would be 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Sunday, and you're catching this as a video, welcome. And this is the Medium channel where we bring you the spirituality behind the message and practices like mediumship, law of attraction, and meditation, and everything spiritual that's positive goes. So before I get into the actual tarot part, let me give you a rundown on what's going on, because this is like an action-packed, very active period that we're in right now. And I wrote a few things down. Firstly, today's Father's Day, obviously, so that's kind of cool. Also on the East Coast, today's the summer solstice. If you're and anywhere west of here, the summer solstice is officially tomorrow. So it's 11:32 p.m. So the sun will be in its northernmost approach of the year. Longest night, no, shortest night, longest day. Now Mercury goes station direct on Tuesday at 16 degrees Gemini, and I'm going to have a little bit more to say about that in a second. Jupiter goes retrograde today. That happens every year for about 4 months. So it's a very transitional time right now in the energetic field, which is characterized or displayed by the planetary movements. We're also in the 11th day of the moon, and the 11th day of the moon is when our glandular systems and our bodies tend to reset in preparation for the higher energies of the full moon, which comes on Thursday, the 24th. And the full moon is going to be in Capricorn, in the early degrees Capricorn. The Saturn-Uranus square is still very much active, although it's starting to ease off just a little bit. That peaked on Monday and Tuesday. Saturn is in Uranus's rulership, Aquarius. So Uranus tend to be the dominant player of that square. So squares create tensions. Saturn tends to represent things like lessons and work, but also can represent structure and infrastructure, where Uranus has the opposite effect and kind of blows everything out of the water. So there's a lot of stuff is going on now. It's very transitional. If anybody had a really crazy week last week, if there's a lot of negativity, anxiety, a lot of combativeness, that there's astrological reasons for that. I experienced a lot of that myself, I have to say. And with Mercury in retrograde, there's been a lot of technology issues as well. So I think, there's some other little nuggets. And if Sharita Starr comes on, she'll have, the astrologer, she'll have more to say. And my other astrologer colleague, what's his name, Armand Diaz, has a YouTube channel called Integral Astrology, and he does a very accurate forecast for the week ahead. So he usually posts his later on if you want to catch another take on things. So what I do with tarot time is I like to talk a little bit about an aspect of the tarot, because a lot of people that tune in are interested in tarot, which would make sense, right? Because you're here. And then I do a meditation card, then a 3-card spread for the week to pick up on what's affecting us collectively, in this group as well as collectively, and what's happening in the world. And then I finish up by pulling one of Doreen Virtue's angel cards. Excuse me, my nose is itching. Sorry about that. So do I need these? No, I don't think I need these right now. Okay. So I didn't miss 11:11. So for today's tarot tutorial, I decided to talk a little bit about the Tower card, because we're kind of in that energy now. And also last week, when we did the 3-card spread, the Tower card was the first card that I pulled out of the 3. And what the Tower card does, it's well, just to back up a second, the major arcana of the tarot, that's the 22 labeled cards like the star, the sun, the world, the tower, um, is a spirit. It is a depiction of the spiritual path. And somewhere along the line in the growth of anything, you have to kind of level the playing field. Like the old structures have to fall so the new and more enlightened ones can build up. So that's really what the tower card represents. The lightning's hitting the tower. It's about to explode or implode, but a new, better, and stronger, more stable tower will come up. Now, there's been a lot of dissension in the news. Things like social dissonance, cognitive dissonance. These are phrases that have been coming up a lot lately. There's a lot of duality. There's a lot of splitting. And I don't pay a lot of attention to the mainstream news, but I do like to see the headline and get a glimpse of it, just so I know what's going on as far as what media is feeding us, as well as what major currents are going on. And there's just been a lot of violence, a lot. It's been a rough week in the world. I'll put it that way. And tower card is key 16 also. And Mercury is at 16 degrees Gemini. That's why, I do not see nope, don't see Sharita Star here. Okay, she would definitely have more to say about that. You can find her on Facebook, Sharita Star, and you can Google her also. She's a numerologist, astrologer, and she does these lexicograms. Very, very powerful and knowledgeable lady. So I highly recommend her. So key 16 is the tower. We're sort of in that 16 degrees of Mercury. Mercury has it has a reputation being the trickster. It moves very quickly. Things change quickly when there's Mercury transit. So we're in the station now until around Friday. That's when it gets back to 17 degrees. Once you get to 17, that's the star card in the tarot. And that's where there's a lot of hope and a lot of inspiration. So we may find, just based on that and a few other things that are going on, that this week there may still be that sense of a lot of uncertainty and a lot of darkness, but we may find the clouds sort of clearing a little bit as we go into the later week, and we may find a sense of hope. A lot of people are also awakening, and I'm getting, not every day, but I'm getting a lot of messages from people that maybe call one of my YouTube videos or one of my posts on Facebook or whatever, and just saying, like what they're experiencing, how, I've started to see auras or started to feel energy, or there's a lot of that going on as well. There's a lot of awakening happening too. So we're at the point where the old structures are falling, and we're seeing that in the financial structures. And if you've been following me on YouTube, I say this quite a bit, but our society, our financial systems, a lot of our systems were really unsustainable for a very, very long time. And basically what happened is that a tiny little microbe it's bringing it all down. Not to make light of it, but I think you get the gist of that and where I'm going. If it wasn't a virus, a war, like a global conflict or a large scale natural disaster would have done that. And we're seeing a lot of extremes in weather. This was all predicted in my 2021, by the way, forecast. It's still up on YouTube if you want to check that out. So there's that. There's a mega drought that's really developing in the West. If the patterns don't change, there's going to be probably water restrictions that may lead to water wars. And just as a little heads up, one of the things that I predicted towards the very end of the year is that people will go into more of like a primal mindset, so to speak. In other words, survival issues and survival instincts start to come up. And certainly if the drought does not alleviate, we're going to see, we'll get a taste of that towards the fire season and beyond. Well, actually, there is no fire season anymore. It's all year is fire season now. So significant climate changes that are ongoing and continuing. So a lot is coming to a head. It's going to be an interesting summer. Once the Mercury goes direct and it catches up speed-wise, and a few other things soften in July, we may have a little bit more of an intelligent idea of what's really going on, and what we need to do as as a society, as well as what we need to do individually and collectively in order to move forward. Because people are starting to gather. The vaccines are effective. I mean, that's a very debatable topic as well that I won't get into. But for what their intention is to help end the pandemic, they seem to be doing a good job and everything. Um, so people are like, well, so we can get back to normal, but there is no normal to get back to. We're gonna have to like create a new normal, and hopefully it's gonna be like not built on a house of cards, that we start to rebuild in a more sustainable fashion, that being economically speaking, that being personally, like socially speaking, and that being ecology and climate friendly also. So I think these are some of the patterns we're going to start to see in the summer. So what I'm going to do now is pull our meditation card for the week. Meditating with tarot cards. Actually, tarot, although the exact origins are still subject to debate, but the strongest theories from me studying tarot is that these were created more as a tool of spiritual growth and meditation, and then they later became a divination tool, or way to do, I hate to say fortune telling, because that's not what they do. Divination is really about gaining insight and giving you choice center predictions or frames of references of where you're going in life, because sometimes you can change your course of action to change your reality. That everything that we have in our world, everything that's physical in our world, started with a thought, it started with a feeling or an emotion. So our reality is a reflection of the sum of our energy, which is our emotions, our feelings, our programming, our belief systems, and so forth and so on. So as we start to change that and alter that, the physical reality is a little bit slower than the energy of thought and emotion, but physical reality starts to change over time also. So, but again, if you follow my work, you've heard me say that more than once also as well. So anyway, thank you. Happy Father's Day. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you, Eve, is that? Thank you to the triple moon goddess. Thank you, Tinker. And welcome. Okay, so I'm mixing. I'm just clearing my mind. I like when I can really just feel spirit, and then they help me to pick the cards as well. So meditating with tarot. I'll explain that when I get the card. So spirit, guide me to the right place here. No. Yes. Okay. Oh, I like her. Queen of Pentacles, the Earth Lady, the Earth Goddess. Very kind of a mother energy, because it's the Pentacles represent Gaia, Mother Earth, amongst other things. So the way we meditate with cards. So I don't know if I've been doing this for, gosh, like 7 or 8 months now. I think I started last autumn doing tarot time. And I don't know if I've ever gotten a core card. Usually I get major arcana for these. So now I get a minor arcana. So if she can be your guide, the Queen of Pentacles can be your guide in your meditation. So you can either take a mental snapshot of this card, or you can, if you have a tarot deck, pick your own Queen of Pentacles. So you get nice and relaxed. Your meditation is just basically a process of stopping your thoughts and becoming aware. So it's opening your awareness, opening your energy field to higher vibration and energy through quieting the mind, quieting the emotions, and slowing down the body. So once you accomplish that, the next thing is, in your mind, you step into the card. And this is like a little doorway. So when you step in, there's a whole panoramic view that's not shown in the card. So when you're in the meditation, you start to explore what's in the card, like what's hidden. And that's how you get knowledge. That's how you get insight and messages. So if you want to play along, do a little meditation every day for the next week. The Queen of Pentacles is very grounding. It's maybe except for the Queen of Cups, it's probably the most feminine of the minor arcana card because it takes into account the elements of water and earth, because the queens are water in the tree of life, I believe. I hope yeah, the pages are earth, so the queens are water and the pentacles are earth, so it's water of earth or earth of water. So this is good because we need to ground. It may be a message from spirit for all of us, to not ignore your grounding and your rooting. Like when you're meditating, just in your mind grow light filaments that look like roots down into the earth, and then we should be doing this anyway. Happy solstice, Elizabeth. Yes, it's on the East Coast. It's today at 11:30. The rest of the country it's tomorrow. So we're in the solstice now. So what I'm going to do next is do a 3-card spread and just see what's showing, what's up, what's going on. I have some ginger tea this morning. So I got up real early to do my yoga. I was a good yogi today. Yeah, I have one of my live chats. I think the first one I did, I talked a little bit about morning routines and why the older I get, the more important I find that to be. So my morning routine's about 90 minutes now, so it's kind of teaching me to get up early. I usually am up around 8 or sometimes even a little later, and I'm trying to shift that to 7. so so the other thing is I don't sleep a lot, so that's not always the easiest thing, but that's my intention anyway. So anyways, last night I think I managed maybe 3 hours of sleep, so a lot of energy, but I don't know, if any of you guys are tend to sleep less than 7 hours a night, but I looked up the phenomena of people that don't sleep a lot, because a lot of great minds didn't. Like Edison didn't sleep a lot. Napoleon Bonaparte didn't. If you want to call him a great mind, he wasn't a genius as far as a military strategist goes. But so I looked it up, and people that sleep less than 6 hours a night routinely, but don't feel tired during the day, are called elite sleepers. And I looked at that definition. I'm like, doesn't elite mean that you're really, really good at something? Because I'm really, really bad at sleeping, so I don't think that definition applies to me. But anyways, 3 to 6 hours, yeah, that's me. All right. So anyways, so I'm going to ask Spirit to help me pull the right 3 cards to best represent what's going on out there, because we need to know that, or at least get an energetic glimpse of what's going on. Why I think there's going to be another heat wave in the West. I know places like around Phoenix where we're broiling at about 120 last week. All right. So anyways, I think I read somewhere that Palm Springs, which is a hot place to begin with, tied its all-time record high. And it's not even summer yet when that happened. Anyways, enough about the weather. Oh, interesting. So the Ace of Swords reverse, that's come up before. Wow. Okay, this is very intense energy. And the Ace of Swords reverse has almost like a very tower-like energy associated with it. The Ace of Swords is the mind, but it can also represent strife and challenge. And the aces are new beginnings. Now, it's kind of a victory card because it's got a laurel stuck in here. And the interesting thing is, and I studied tarot, I read a lot of books, I absorbed the book meanings. When I get the Ace of Swords, my meaning is very different than what I read in the books, because I kind of almost see that as an impregnation of the earth in a way, because it's almost like in a sense, and maybe I shouldn't share this because I may be revealing where my mind goes sometimes, but I can see the sword as like a phallus, and and the laurel's like a yoni, like the earth's yoni or the earth's vagina, I want to say. So it's almost to me like an impregnation of energy, or something along those lines, I want to say as well. But in the book meaning, sometimes it represents again like a destructive energy, or something that's ruined or whatever. But destruction and creation are two sides of the same energy, basically, and it's necessary. So that shouldn't seem scary or anything like that. I think also, because as I'm looking at this, the word truth bomb comes up in my mind. I understand our good Dr. Fauci's coming under a little bit of fire these days, so we're going to see what happens when I think the I think the full moon somehow links in with his natal sun or something like that. It's gonna be interesting. I can see this as something with the news also, because swords is of air. Swords communicates over distances. Swords gets messages through. Now the Empress card, that's very Earth Mother, very Venusian Venus energy. So it's very feminine energy once again. So tuning into our own divine feminine may be an interesting part of that whole thing. Thank you. He's a Capricorn, yeah, and I do believe that he's early Capricorn, meaning he's born around Christmas time, and the full moon is going to be right on his natal sun, because the full moon's I think going to be around 4 or 5 degrees Capricorn. So thank you to the triple goddess. I'm feeling very very pagan today. Um, so and then the moon card is the moon card could be about illusions, but it can also be about intuition. But what does the moon do? The moon reflects. The moon reflects the light. So that's basically what the moon does. The Empress is like the Earth Mother, the Earth Goddess. Um, since we have our triple moon goddess with us today, the three aspects of the moon, or the divine feminine, will be the maiden, the mother, and the crone. So this would represent the mother. The maiden is more like the high priestess energy, I believe. I don't know what the crone is. Maybe the hermit. I don't know, but that's about the old lady that's very very wise and very very powerful. So those are kind of like three faces of the divine feminine, and nothing wrong with the divine masculine either. It's all about balance. So we've been in about a 3,000 year process roughly of development of the divine masculine, and now in this awakening process we're awakening our divine feminine. So that would be more like our intuition, our creativity, things of that nature, our receptiveness, our ability to nurture, all that stuff. The divine feminine masculine tends to be more about being more in the outer world, and all like the developments in the world. It's kind of like yin and yang. So sometimes saying masculine and feminine gives it a little bit of a wrong slant, because people think of boy girl, and it's not really that way. It's just different. It's just the two sides of the unified field of energy, or the duality. And sometimes the moon can also tap into that duality, because it's key. I'm thinking of the high priestess. No, the moon's not key 2. The moon is key 18. So after the star card, so I talked about the tower. That was last week's card. That's key 16. We're in 16 degrees Mercury. Anytime Mercury stations, which is 6 times during any given year, it's a transition point, because again, Mercury is about communication. It's about action. It's about the nervous system, and a few other different things. But anyways, I need more tea. Little ginger in the morning, get me going. But it's an interesting layout, and to me, again, I keep hearing Dr. Fauci in my mind. Oh, well, we shall see. I understand that you won't wind up in Facebook jail anymore if you say that the virus was man-made. So thank you, Mark Zuckerberg, for that. Although on the other flip side, I have a few friends, they got put into Facebook jail from posts they made like 4 or 5 years ago. So there's a lot going on, and I have a feeling like the lid is about to blow off the pot. I want to say as well. Like, I don't think that what's going on in the world can be suppressed by the governments and the media too much longer. And I think we're just seeing kind of like little what's the right word? Little steam vents of violence going on around the world. There's something crazy. It's also Pride Month, and there's unfortunately an incident in Florida with somebody that basically well, you can read that for yourself. I don't even want to say it, but it's just well, suffice it to say that ignorance and prejudice are still alive and well in the country and in the world. So there's been a lot of that kind of energy. The moon card kind of beckons us to go within and to really go into more of a meditation, more into an internal process to understand how the world is mirroring us. So most people, when crappy things go on and it involves another people, they blame the other person. But we have to understand that we created that relationship with that person, and something that we did created that reaction. It's not Newtonian physics. It's not that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. It's a quantum universe. So we don't see necessarily in a direct way like how our energy reflects back to us. And the moon card is really telling us, I believe anyway, that's my take, is that it's telling us to really go within and to see like what did I do? Where's my energy at that's creating this in my life? Or if you want to look more on what's going on in the world, where's our collective energy at that's creating this mess in the world? And it's all like nature. A lot of this going on is nature kind of like really acting up, because we've been doing things to the planet for the industrialization is almost like 80 years old now, I think, maybe even a little bit older, and it keeps getting more and more intense. So the earth has to counterbalance. That's what the earth does. We're not going to destroy the earth. We may destroy some life on the earth, but we're not going to destroy the earth. It's going to counterbalance, and viruses are part of that balancing mechanism also as well. So anyways, let me check my time. I don't want to go too much over. Yeah, it's almost 11:30. So that's basically what I'm getting. My advice is to really go within this week more than anything. Mercury stationing, it tend to be a quiet time. Sometimes people think, oh, Mercury goes direct Tuesday. Now I can go out and go back to where I was, and I can plan things. I can do this. But the stations are really quiet times. The effects of Mercury going direct start to build over the next couple of weeks, really. And I think this is really telling us to just let things go more. And and if you need any help, that was last Thursday's video. Is all about letting go. It's a short video, but I teach you the most important thing that you need to learn how to let go. That way, if you study that, Dr. David Hawkins has a wonderful book called Letting Go. And if you want to do some of his exercises or things of that nature, the information in this video is going to give you the foundational knowledge that you need to actually make that work. So I recommend it. This is a good time to let go. Things are, July is going to be a little bit more active. I think something's going to get solved in the next couple of weeks, which will probably lead to more problems. But I think we'll at least have a better idea where we're going in this crazy changing world of ours. But keep in mind, again, it is an awakening. That's the main message. It's a awakening in collective consciousness. Awakenings are not easy. If anybody's had a personal awakening, you know that. It means we have to change. It means everything needs to change now, and our egos, which are connected to our survival instincts, do not like change. So we have to say, ego, I understand your concerns, but I'm going to do it anyway. So this is the card that wants to come up. And we got Aurora. So this is the Doreen Virtues Messengers of the Angels card. You get to see what I look like in glasses now, or at least that I'm literally a talking head, right? Um, it's like you just see my head. So I'm a talking head. Okay, I think I need to eat breakfast. All right, so here's the message for us. You are flying high right now, which may threaten others, but don't descend because others will soon become inspired by your example. And sometimes you can get more messages from the images. And I think this one's called the Messenger of the Angels. It's one of Doreen Virtue's probably like 8 or 9 different angel decks that she has. So that's what the card looks like. And this would actually, I'm going to go back to this because this would feed off of some of the stuff that's look like so that would feed off of this in a way because thing is a lot of times when we come under scrutiny, especially if you have those types of shadow aspects that I've had a lot of my life where there's a lot of jealousy growing up and being very sensitive and mostly from my older brother, but over time I kind of learned just to dim my light just so that he or other people wouldn't feel threatened and I wouldn't have to feel that energy of like jealousy and anger and wanting to hurt me and all that stuff as well. But now the main thing is to shine your light as bright as you can. What was Marianne Williamson's famous quote? Author of what did she, oh my god, I can't even remember her, probably one of the most famous spiritual works ever. I can't even remember what it's called, but the author is Marianne Williamson. A Course in Miracles. Thank you, Spirit. um, it's like the line goes something like it's not being powerless that you fear, it's being powerful beyond measure that you fear. And the thing is, when you are powerful, you become subject to more scrutiny. More people see you, more people can disagree or try to shoot you down, and more people get jealous. So what the angels are telling us is no, that we have to shine our light very brightly now. Not to sound like I'm egotistical or anything, but I find that people that follow me are people that are awakening, that are very spiritual people themselves, that are in an awakening process or are already awakening. So if you're here, chances are you're one of those, and you're not doing yourself or the world around you a service by diminishing your power and diminishing your energy. So I believe that is the message from the angels for today. I think that that's a good message to finish on, I want to say as well. And let's see, and the seconds that slow keep. Oh, that's interesting. I'll have to read your comments because you're touching on a point, Layla, that the time is fluid. It's not linear, and time does speed up and slow down. It's really in the way that I see it, and we can't our tiny brains can't really conceptualize time. But the way that I see it's just a measure of the rate of change of energy because everything's energy, everything vibrates. Physical matter is energy because atoms are 99.9% empty space where electrons fire through. So basically, atoms are 99.9% energy, matter's 99% energy, and I mean 99% energy or wave and 0.1% matter, or what's the other word for matter? Even anyway, you get the idea, you get the gist. So I'm going to eat breakfast and busy week ahead. In fact, tomorrow's the 1 year anniversary of the medium channel. I should have worn a party hat, darn it. 1 year anniversary. So Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time, live mediumship here on the channel. So I get messages and put them out there, and then I'm going to give away a free reading. No, Thursday. No, am I doing anything Wednesday? When did I make Thursday? As my soulmate video. So 11 signs of a soulmate or a twin flame. But that evening, I'm doing a transmission. I always do a full moon transmission, and I work with the angels, and they're able to. The higher spirits are able to access my energy field and sort of use me as a conduit. And when I lead a meditation, we sort of join in consciousness, and they're able to activate your energy fields also through the meditation process. A lot of people feel this, so we do a lot of healing work, a lot of clearing work. They're channeling, transmission, and guided meditation. That's going to be Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. For some reason, I think there's something else, but I can't think of it. And next Tuesday, the plan is to have Heather Astara come on with me, but that's going to involve me figuring out the technology of streaming software, and then I basically have the technology IQ of a strand of rice. So that's going to be interesting. But anyway, that's planned for next Tuesday, the 29th. That's going to be our little party. And I have a really amazing announcement, taking things to a higher level, especially those that really want to study with me. So I have some really amazing news coming up then as well. I'll talk a little bit about it on Tuesday. So I might spill the beans this Tuesday. So anyway, I hope you guys can join me for mediumship. Have a blessed day, and we'll see you next time. Thank you very much, and be well.